Welcome back to Stage Dive. Here we are at season 3. It's been a magical slate of interviews for this season. We have an intimacy coordinator, we have a singer who's blowing up on TikTok, we have dancers, we have photographers, we have stand-up comedians, so many different kinds of performances, so many different kinds of humans. I loved making this season and I hope you enjoy it. My guest for today is Marcos Fagundes, and he is a gymnast coming out of Brazil. And like many of us, he has an incredible story about how the pandemic changed his trajectory, gave him an opportunity to recommit to his work, his practice, and all the things that he has wanted to do, which has now led him to become a cast member of Cirque du Soleil, which was a dream come true for him. But there's two other things in this episode that I actually think are potentially more important. His perspective on what he would say to his younger self genuinely brought tears to my eyes, and I thought was so thoughtful. And I was so impressed by the way that he made sure at the end of the interview to thank the individuals who had a major impact on his life. A good reminder to all of us that sometimes it's easy to feel like the things we're doing aren't having an impact, but we don't appreciate or understand how those lessons will be carried forward. So I thought this episode was inspiring, it was beautiful, and I'm so glad I got to connect with him. Here is my conversation with Marcos. So Marcos, very important question to start. What did you have for breakfast today?
So for breakfast, 4 eggs with 4 slices of bread.
Okay.
And yogurt, oats, and today was juice. Yes, and apple juice. Yes, because I changed my diet day for day.
Okay. How does the diet change day to day?
So some days I change juice for yogurt and for water and some things.
Got it. Very cool. And you're living in Canada now, right?
Yes. No, actually I'm in Montreal, in Quebec.
Okay. How long have you been there?
So I have 3 months here. 3 months and 1 week.
Okay. And do you know how much longer you'll be staying there?
So I think 2 more weeks.
2 more weeks? Oh my gosh. Okay. And then where do you go after Canada?
I can say depends when this podcast is gonna be posted.
Okay. It should come out in like August, September.
Yeah, so okay, I can. In 2 weeks, I'm going to Las Vegas to start do the show of the Cirque du Soleil, the show Mister. It's an resident show in Las Vegas, and I'm contracted to be there. And in 2 weeks, I'm gonna go there.
Okay, amazing. Are you excited?
Of course, man. That's so crazy.
Yeah. And are you doing Cirque du Soleil right now?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So let's go all the way back. You're from Brazil.
Yes, I'm from Brazil.
Okay, which part?
So I born in Natal. It's one city in the north of Brazil, in the Rio Grande do Norte is the name of the state. And but I live almost a complete life in Rio de Janeiro. I consider I'm from Rio because my home's there and I live my whole life there. I studied there, and that's okay.
Awesome. And when you were growing up, what did your parents do for work?
So when I started in the circus,
what did your parents do? Your mom and dad?
No, yeah, my mom lives in Natal, in Rio.
Okay.
She is from Natal. It's north of Brazil, Rio Grande do Norte. And my father is from Rio de Janeiro.
Okay, got it. And what was your childhood like?
Sorry?
What was it like when you were growing up?
So it was really cool. I had a childhood my childhood was in north of Brazil, and I needed to start working early to help at my home because the life in Brazil is not too comfortable. We can say like this, but I didn't need it. I didn't need alone because I had a lot of friends that need to do the same thing to help at home, and we enjoyed the time working. Okay, we was children, but we spent the time. We was working, but having fun at the same time. And yes, it's hard, but so beautiful childhood. I really like it.
That's beautiful. Um, what kind of work were you doing?
So I went to the popular markets.
Okay.
I don't know how the term in English, but the public markets. I don't know.
Yeah.
To like I asked to the peoples, you want I take your stuffs to your home. For example, the old girls, the old peoples.
The older people. Yeah.
Yes, for the old peoples, I ask if you want, I can take your things and follow you until to your home, and you give me something, and they give me any coins and that's things. Like I was child in like 9, 10 years, and
Yeah.
we make a little money, and you can, yes, you can help at my home, and yes, it was good.
Awesome.
Like this, you if you want, I can put your trash for outside, and I can clean your background, and that's things.
Yeah. Little chores,
Yes, if you want, I can cut your grass. You know.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you move down to Rio?
So, uh, I born in Natal, and in 2004 I moved there with my parents. And in 2010 we come back to Natal, and in 2015 I come back to Rio with my father because my parents were separated. They were separated, and I came back to Rio with my father because the opportunities of the life for study and to make work, not make work, but to find something to do of your life.
Yes.
I I think there I had more opportunities and possibilities to find it, and yes, I
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah. 100%. And when did you start doing circus stuff?
So it was a little bit crazy because I started doing industrial mechanics. Don't know why. I started doing industrial
Okay.
mechanics, and in the middle of this process, I discovered one social project close to my home. Then has some circus class, and I wanted to go there, but I was doing industrial mechanics, and I figured, okay, I need to finish my course and I need to be graduate. And yes, I finished my course, and after that, after 2 years, because the duration of my course, I I went there to start in November 12th of 2017. I start
Okay.
do the my circus class in the social project.
Okay. So, so originally industrial mechanics, and then you went to circus.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Okay, I already did acrobatics in this time because I started to
Okay.
do capoeira. With
Yep.
9 years old, I started to do capoeira in Natal, in another
Yep.
city. And the acrobatics ever was so present in my life because I had some guys and some children, my friends, do acrobatics with me because you didn't have money
Fun.
to have like iPhones and iPads. That's things for funny. You didn't have internet connection, and we had a fun like this doing sports and acrobatics just for fun because uh, we saw the guys doing it in the capoeira trainings, and why I cannot do. And that's a little bit crazy because my dream was be gymnastics, was do gymnastics. Uh, since I was children, my dream ever was be gymnastics, but the conditions to get into the sport, it's still terrible in Brazil. It's really difficult, and I never had
Mm.
opportunity to it. And like I said, I didn't have internet connection, and I waited. All I ate every year, all year to pass the gymnastic competitions and the TV, and I watched the guys doing the stuffs there, the acrobatic stuffs, and I went to my streets to try this, do the same thing. Like I imagine, okay, I'm this athlete, and I'm gonna do the same thing. Like I was playing being gymnastic. You understand?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It was like
That's
this.
fascinating. And were you good at it like right away?
Yeah, I started doing capoeira, and I saw the guys in the trainings of capoeira trainings doing some acrobatics and backflips, back handsprings, and that things, and I like it so much. And I yes, why I cannot to do it? And I started to try by myself for my home, in front of my home, and I started to do it by myself. And one time I started to do good things for my age because I was 9 years old and I learned everything alone by myself. And I started had a big, not big, but I started had a good process, a progress, doing that things. And yes, I was in love. I got in love of acrobatics. I
Mm.
started to love it.
How important is capoeira in Brazil?
How important? Capoeira make part of the history of Brazil because we had. I don't know if you know the story of Brazil, but we have one strong story and so sad story with Portugal because Portugal went to Brazil and make the peoples there like slaves to work for them and take our recurse to bring our nature recurse to go back to Portugal. And you had a bad history. And the capoeira is like on fighting with dancing, cause when the proprietaries of these farms is the, was the place then the slaves working for them, the slaves was practicing capoeira like a practicing fight to try get out of there and try for fight of them lives. And they put some stuff, some acrobatic stuffs and some dancing steps in the middle of this fighting to make this phrase. I don't know when like when the boss come there, are you fighting? Are you training some fight? No, no, no. We are dancing. Like do,
We're
and
dancing.
there's some
So
acrobatic
interesting.
stuffs and that's things to do and like a makeup over the fight and that's things. And the people don't understand what's happening. And no, that's okay. It's your culture. No, it's like a you're dancing, that's thing. Okay, do what you want. But they was training for fight with them, and yes, and the capoeira make part of the liberty of Brazil. Really, uh,
Yeah.
yes, that's it. And the capoeira, a lot of time for a long time was crime in Brazil. Was prohibited. You could not to do capoeira because was crime, because was dangerous, really dangerous, and really martial arts. But with another things, then you they can be dangerous for who don't know do it and
Yes.
try it.
Yes.
And if the poor persons, the slaves, have a good fight to do, it's more easily than they win the bad persons and the proprietaries of the slaves, and that's why it was crime. And capoeira come from Africa and have this question about the racism and that things and what's so sad the history and the capoeira was so important to Brazil be free today, you know.
Free. Yeah. Amazing. Do you still practice?
No more, not
Okay.
officially. I have a lot of capoeira skills in my routine, in my training. I like to do it until today. I love to do capoeira. I don't practice like the sports capoeira. I'm not capoeira player more. But the
Right.
capoeira is present in my life, present in my body, present in my movements, present in a lot of stuffs. In the circus, we have a lot of good capoeira players because we have so good acrobatics movements and yes, the capoeira is present in my life all the time. I never gonna stop with the capoeira. I stop practicing directly capoeira
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah. That makes sense. So, you were doing capoeira, then you started doing acrobatics, and like this was only how many years ago? 5 or 6 years ago, or longer than that?
Now I think 13, 12 years ago I started to do. I started I
Okay, so
started with 9 years old and I have 22 now. I
okay,
started to do
got it, got
acrobatics
it.
with 9. My first backflip was with 9 years old.
Okay. When did you realize that acrobatics could be a career or your job?
So yes, I started to do the like I said to you. I started in this social project close to my home in Rio in 2015, and just
Right.
to know what is circus life. I didn't know circus has acrobatics at this time. I didn't know. For me, circus was like the trapezes, the the magic, and that's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. And I start the jungler, and I went there, and okay, let's see what's gonna happen here. And I saw the guys doing acrobatics and that thing, and yes, I like that. It's similar to gymnastics. And I started to go there with more frequency. And in the middle of this process, I knew the National Circus School of Brazil. It's the most important circus school of South American, and you have one test to pass there to be into there. And this test in my time had 60 spots for all the countries of the world. And I think like, okay, I want to go there. I want to go there, and I start training to be there. This time I started training to be there, and the next test was gonna be 2 years after, 2 years late. And I have 2 years to prepare myself to be there. And I did it. I started to train. I started training a lot, and I did the test. I passed, and I jet into there. And when I was there, I had the conception like I want it for my life. Because there, I started to understand how is the life in circus. When I jet there, I start receive money to be there because it's the only one circus school in the world can pay for your training there, for your stud there. They pay us for stud.
Wow.
It's so really good. In Brazil, it's one culture so difficult for art and that things. And you have a good project like this, it's amazing, man. The National Circus School of Brazil changed my life, but directly. Like I was one person before go there. When I get into there, I turn another person. I be another person because I had another conception in my life about the circus, about the art, and in this time, I had the idea. I know what I want to do for my life now. Because before I did industrial mechanics, I studied music, and I did a lot of stuff in my life. But when I get there, I discovered okay, I want to do it for my life. The National Circus of Brazil for me was the place that changed my life in my mind to be who I am now.
Yeah, yeah. How do you think you changed as a person from when you started to when you left?
Because there I had the real idea then how works the circus in the world, how how is the really coherent circus.
Yeah.
And I discovered the Cirque du Soleil because I just heard the people speak about Cirque du Soleil, Cirque du Soleil, Cirque du Soleil is the most big circus. But it's like the Cirque du Soleil for me was the so far dream, you know?
Right.
It's like one big place, a lot of big peoples are there, so talented peoples, the best of the world are there, and that's one far stuff to me. I'm not gonna be there, never. That was my conception because I didn't have the idea what was my capacity to do it. You understand?
Right.
And I started to train there, and I had a good progression there on the circus school. And we started the pandemic,
Oh no.
2019, and we started the pandemic in 2020.
Right.
And yes, it was one big correction in my life. It was one big punch in my face because I was having one big progress, and in another day I didn't have nothing.
Right.
We stay 2 years, stop it, and 2022 we return to class, and we start to train. A lot of stuff I lost because I was not training, and for my body being adaptation, the routine again, and that things I take a time for it. But yes, I returned to training, and I returned to dream, and I started to think in my objectives for my life, and Circuit Soleil was like a big objective, like the impossible dream, you know. But
Right. Yeah.
in that time was not more impossible for me. I had it with one objective in my life, not one utopia, like an impossible dream. It was not impossible dream. Now
Right.
was my dream, a big dream, my so far dream, but not impossible more. Because I start to know a lot of peoples of the circus. I start to follow a lot of artists of Cirque du Soleil, and I start thinking this person was like me one day, you know. And I start to know the artists was have been in the circus school before than me, and was in the Cirque du Soleil there, another Brazilian artist. And I start to dream more. I start to had opportunities to element my dream, you know. And it's like this, and that's was there when I understand. Okay, I want to do it for my life now.
What did you do during the pandemic? Those 2 years when you couldn't be at
Train
school.
at my home. I did my physical prepare. At the start moment in the pandemic, we restart the circus school class, but online, not the technique, but the dancing class, theater class, and artist expression class,
Mm.
and that's things more theoretic class about the circus we had.
Yeah.
And I studied a lot of things. I come back to study some things about industrial mechanics and draw. And I move my mind. I had my mind occupied for don't be crazy. Really, it was a bad time,
Yeah.
and I train in my
Yeah.
I'm at my home at this place. I train my body, I train my physique, my mind. And what I could to do, I did. Really.
Absolutely. Is the school all taught in Portuguese?
No, no, no. They speak Portuguese there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but we have teachers. Uh, we have, for example, Colombian coach there. We have a Brazilian coach there, and Cuban coach there. It have a lot of people, and the students. It's from a lot of parts of the world.
Everywhere.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had a Colombian
Yeah.
guy there. A lot of peoples from South American, but sometimes we had another peoples of North American and Asian there.
Right. From far away. Sure. So, and where did you go after that school when
So
you graduated?
after that school, I did my graduation there, my graduation act, and 1 week before I finished the school, I received my first contract in my life to one musical show in Brazil. Yes, I did there. Was the name was Barnum, O Rei do Show. It's like the history of the Barnum, the greatest showman. I don't know if you know the movie.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
I did one musical about him, history of life, and I did theater board there with my friends. And yes, I did one season in Rio. What's in Rio? I did my first contract in this musical show.
What did you learn from that first contract?
Was pretty cool because I worked with big famous actors in Brazil. I had
Okay.
was my first contract in my life, and I worked with so famous persons in Brazil. It's a big opportunity to my life to improve myself and the stage in the contact with the public. I start to learn how I can do an interaction with the public, how I can have a contact with the public. Because before I just knew to how to do my skills and my jumps and my acrobatic stuffs. And at this work, I learned to have contact with the public, to be with my body in sand, my posture, like don't be with my head down, like have presence in the stage, you know. And I
Mm.
started to be more artists than acrobatics there. The acrobatic is one. The acrobat is one artist,
Right.
but I I don't know if I get out of the school with myself prepared to be artist. Really, I was a good acrobat, but I didn't have experience like an artist in a stage. You know, I
Yes.
was a performer, but I didn't had experience presenting it. And
Right.
at this contract, I start to work it in me.
Cool. Very cool. Was and how long were you in that contract?
3 months, 2 3 months. Was on short season.
Okay.
Was my first contract and was so cool, man.
Okay. Awesome. And you were close to home?
Yes, it's close to my home. Yes, thank you. One hour of my home. Public
Oh,
transport.
great.
I just take a. Was okay. As it
Awesome.
was in Rio. Was close.
Yeah. Yeah. And what happened next?
2 weeks before I finished this contract, I received one contract to go to Mexico to work at my first international contract, and I did my first big show, big circus show. I went to Puerto Vallarta, it's one city in
Okay.
Mexico.
Yeah.
I knew the city, and I went to there to do one show called Alma. The the uh, it's one tour, like the people take one boat and go to an island, and there we had a
Yep.
diner show. And the name of the tour, it's Rhythms of the Night.
Okay.
And I did, we have one show there. The name of the show was Alma. It's like a soul.
Soul.
Yes,
Yeah.
but the name is
Cool.
Alma. It was in Spanish. And I did my first show there with directors of the Cirque du Soleil, with makeup. The makeup artist there was from Cirque du Soleil. The show was not by Cirque du Soleil, but had a lot of people still work to for the Cirque du Soleil there into this. And there I had idea. I had the first contact with one big audience, like a really big audience. I had the first experience with one circus show because my first contract was in musical theater show. It was not like a
Right.
circus show. It was about circus, but it was not a
But it
circus. Yeah,
wasn't circus. Interesting.
and there I had my first circus contract show. It was not in one circus, but it was one circus spectacle. Understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have
Absolutely. How many people were in the audience?
100, no, 1,350, like
It's a
this.
lot of people.
Yes. How 1,300 people, 1,200 people. So it's like a big audience, man.
Yeah. Yeah. How did it feel living in a different country?
Was different. The culture of in Mexico, it's so good, man. I really like it and enjoy that process there. Everything is spiced there. I really did enjoy it. Mexico, everything is spicy. If someone told for you it's not a spice, don't believe there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be spice.
Yep.
If the Mexicans told you it's not spice too much, man, it's spice.
Super spicy.
If they told it's spice, man, don't eat it. You're gonna die.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
But if they told you it's not spice too much, no, it's light. Really, they are habituated with the spice there. It's from size. There was children.
Yeah.
They eat it, and man, everything have spice. You have refreshers of spice, like juice with spice.
Right.
It's crazy, man. But I love the culture, really. The country, the peoples there, the things in Mexico. I love it. I love the country, really.
Amazing.
It was my
Amazing.
first international experience, and never been in another continent than Brazil.
Right. Right.
I
And
did
how long were you there?
almost 1 year, 10 months, and
Okay.
in there I learned another disciplines in the circus. I learned the Russian swing and another stuffs, and I had more opportunities to learn how be artists in the stage, how have the contact with the public. Because there in this show I had more contact with the public. In the first show, I did my sense and that things, but we didn't have contact like directly contact with the public. You know,
Right.
in that
Yeah.
show, some parts of the show I had really contact with the public. I had
Cool.
opportunities to interact with the public and pass close to the public and touch the public. It's really cool. It was a
Yeah.
big experience in my life.
Yeah. How did the routine change over 10 months, or did you do the same thing for 10 months?
The same thing, but I
Okay.
changed a lot my routine if you compare it from Brazil. Because, okay, it's one paradise city, Porto Vallarta.
Okay.
It's one tropical
Yep.
city. And the show, like I mean, was in one island, and I live in the city. And what's happening? We take boats every day to go to work. And I take a boat, stay 1-2 hours at the boat. When it was in speedboat, was more fast, like 25 minutes directly.
Oh, wow.
But when it was in the boat, we stay like 1 hour and 1.5 hours, sometimes 2 hours, to go to the island, and we stay complete day and finish of the night there. Like we arrived there 6 p.m. and we left there 10 p.m., 11 p.m. and I start almost a complete day on the island. And man, what's a beautiful place with a lot of animals, and that was different because was in the jungle, really in the jungle. The show was in the island in a big jungle, and we had a lot of animals there, like spiders and snakes and mapaches. I don't know if in English it's the same, mapaches. It's one.
Okay.
It's an animal with one black targe on the face.
Okay.
It's a lot of animals there. There's a lot of animals
Yeah.
there, and it's a different experience. Sometimes, man, you take your shoes to put and have one crab inside there, one spider, one scorpion, and you need to check every time. But was a really different experience of my life. Really, I had a so different experience of my life.
Awesome. And then after Mexico, did you go right to Canada, or did you come home?
Before, in the middle of this process, I received my contract to come to here for the Cirque du Soleil, and I finished my contract in Mexico February 28th of February.
Yeah.
I went to Brazil, stay 11 days there, and I come to here in 12th of March. I arrive here. I come to the Cirque du Soleil to do the PPP. It's like a program, like preparation performance program, like this.
Okay.
Some program to prepare the performance when they preview a need of when they preview they will need some artists to some disciplines. They open this process of formation to capacitate the artists to be into the shows, you know.
Got it.
And I arrived here and I started to do my trainings. And here I had dance class and makeup class, theater board training, because it's my discipline, my principal discipline, speciality. And I start to live my dream. When I come to here, I finally start to think, man, I get it. I did it, you know. Because what's crazy, because before I follow a lot of Cirque du Soleil artists, you know, a lot of Cirque du Soleil artists, and I follow them. I love that tricks, and this guy is amazing. And after that, I start to see my friends come to work here, and it's more close than me now. It's crazy. My friends are there now, and 1 year after, I come to here, and I meet my friends here, you know, and I meeting this artist and I follow before.
Right.
A lot of big artists I follow in the Instagram. I just saw in Instagram before. I meet them here, and I was like, what the fuck? We work together, man. How we work together? You know,
Yeah.
I train you on trash deposits close to my home. First, I start training on trash deposits.
Right.
Yes, trash deposit was so bad, but I started training in the middle of the trash, and a lot of years after, I work in the most big company, circus company of the world.
Right.
That was the big difference in my life, and I started meeting so people like I was big fan. I am big fan,
Yeah.
and I come to here like, man, I work with you now. I am one of you, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what's crazy in my life, man. Really, I arrived here like a man, like a lost, you know. Like I didn't process the information in my mind. I take a long time to process it in my brain.
Yeah. Absolutely. Um, how much training did you have to do when you got to Canada?
To come to here or when I arrived here.
When you arrived?
So we train in Monday to Friday. We start. It's different the schedules in the day,
Sure.
but my normal schedule, for example, in my contract, I have schedule like 80, 80 40, 8:40 a.m. to 5 p.m. Say in the middle,
Full day.
in the middle, yes, in the middle of the day we have a artistic class like theater, like dance, like body percussion, acrobatic stuff, creation, a lot of things.
Yeah.
Makeup class.
Yeah. Makeup. To get makeup or to give makeup?
We learn the makeup because we do our makeups
Okay.
in the shows. The artists do the makeup themselves.
Wow.
We go to the class of makeup to learn how to do the makeups, the techniques of the makeups, and we do.
Oh. Was that hard?
Depends of the show. Depends of the. But for me, it was a little bit more easy because I draw.
Oh
I
yeah.
had a more facility to do it. It was more a little bit easily for me because I had more experience with lines and things. It was a little bit more easy for me. But
Yeah.
some makeup are so hard. Really depends of
Yeah.
the show. Depends of your character. Depends. But yes, some makeups can be a lot of crazy.
Yeah. I'm sure. Um, what have been some highlights of your time in Canada? The best moments?
When I'm training, when I'm training,
Yeah.
I knew a lot of place here in the city, but when I'm training, I'm free. I feel free,
Mm,
man. When I'm in the air, when I'm flying, I feel free. I train here was my big dream since I'm starting the circus, and yes, no another countries I want to know another countries and that things, but my dream was be here training, and I'm doing.
right.
My
Right.
best moments here is when I am training.
Your dreams belong here too, and so do your fears, your wishes, your stitches, your visions, your tears, insecurities, inhibitions, your imperfections, your inner queer, even the part of you love, even though you know it's so incredibly weird, and you will always be enough. Because even when you're tired and it's rough and it's hard and it's lonely and it's tough, no one can ever take this away from you. You are love.
What do you think you are best at?
My best what?
What are you best at? Sort of what are your strongest skills?
Of course, the three board is my specialty,
Okay.
and we have a lot of tricks in the theater board. But I have tricks like it, and I like more. It's like we have one trick. It's the name Coca-Cola. It's like when you do two somersaults in the same jump with one open in the middle. You do the first backflip and you open there, like stopping there, and you start to do another flip, and it looks so beautiful for me, and I love to do it. But on the titty board, because I do a lot of things. I do trampoline and tumbling, like floor acrobatics, and titty board. But my specialty is titty board.
Okay. And that's like it's like this, and you go like
Yeah, it's
that,
like
and
on
someone goes
seesaw.
up, and then
I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
seesaw.
like
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. And we jump and dance.
Is there something you want to do but haven't done yet?
a lot of tricks, because the process was like 3 months, and
Right.
a big group. Oh, sorry.
It's
You
okay.
have 3 months and a big group for training, and have a lot of skills that I want to do, and I then didn't. But I'm gonna do. I have time now. But yes, I have a lot of skills, like quad backflips, like 4 backflips, and I can do it. I feel it's. I'm not scared to do it, but I just didn't yet.
Haven't done it yet.
Yes.
Yeah. Amazing. And then next you go to Las Vegas.
Yes. Yes. In 3 weeks, I'm gonna go to Las Vegas.
And what do you know about that show?
Yes. I can speak about when I was contracted to the show before I start to speak. Okay. My process, my PPP, my formation here, finished in the last Thursday, and when it's finished, my coach comes to me and told me, the process are finished. I don't have good news for you. I don't have show to you now. We don't have contract to you. You're gonna go back to Brazil. And I was thinking about it, because it's okay. My contract, my first contract was 3 months of formation. It's okay. Finish, we'll go to Brazil. And I'm okay. I prepare myself. I did my language to go to Brazil. It's okay. In Friday, the casting and divisor, the director of human performance, and the another coach come to me. Hey Marcus, we can stay you 1 week more in Montreal training, and after you go to Brazil, just for we make some things and ask some things and blah blah. We are waiting some replies of the show, but we don't have it yet. Okay, we're gonna keep you here with another guy who's training with me. I have another friend training with me now. We're gonna keep you two to 1 more week here, and after it, you're gonna go to Brazil. And okay, it's okay. And in past Saturday, in Sunday, my coach sent me a message. Marcus, we need to edit your videos of the PPP to do an show reel of the final of your PPP. Go with your tablets, your right disk, and with your videos. In Monday, in the morning, for the headquarters, and we're gonna do your videos. We're gonna make your videos. Okay. I take everything, my device, and there. When I arrived there, I thought, and the coach was together there waiting me, and I'm not waiting two coaches here, just Michael. Hey Marcus, you know why you come to here? Yes, I come to do my videos. I come to make my videos. Yes, but sorry, you don't gonna do your videos today. I lie for you. We are called to here to say we have one place in the show Mister for you, to do the act of to the board. They reply us this weekend, and we had one spot for you there. You're gonna go to Mister in Las Vegas. You want to go with that? And what? I was like, what's happening in my life? It's just in this Thursday, then had contract for me, and now you're coming to Las Vegas to do the most older show of the Cirque du Soleil.
Right.
And yes, of course I would go there, man. It's a big dream. And yes, in Thursday, in Tuesday, I signed the contract, and yes. What I know about the show Mister, I'm going to do the show Mister, is the most old show in action of Cirque du Soleil. This show have almost 30 years in the same place. It's a resident show, and have a so good acts. I love the thematic of the show, and I had one coach in Brazil. I have one coach in the Circus School in Brazil. One coach. He was the first Brazilian to work for Cirque du Soleil, and he did this show. This show, and he ever give me incentive to go there and to apply my videos to the Cirque du Soleil and to make my videos and my stops. And now I'm here going to do the same show than here, like he did 18, 20 years before. And I'm going to do the same spot than here. than him. And he did theater board. He did the same thing than me. Not like the same show. He did the same spot than me. He was acrobat. He did theater board, and it's so grateful for me. And I'm so excited with the idea. It's a good show. It's Las Vegas, a good city, and I'm gonna know a lot of peoples. And yes, I'm just starting my career. I have 22 years old, and I'm going I work to the Cirque du Soleil, and I'm so excited. I cannot process how big it is in my mind now, but I know it's so big goals in my life, and I'm excited to make it work.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. I'm excited for you.
Yes, man. I'm
How
really
long
surprised.
are you supposed to be there?
Ah,
How long
So
is the contract?
first, because I'm going to finish the year, I'm gonna go. This first concert is 4 months because I'm going
Okay.
now until 31 of December to close the year, and they can offer me to be there permanent or 1 more year, or they can send me to another show. I don't know, but the first idea is be 4 months there.
Are you nervous
No,
at all?
okay.
That's great.
I'm surprised. I'm excited. It's a different,
Yeah.
so different thing in my life. But I want to go there soon. I want to be there. I want to perform for the public. And yes, I'm excited. Not nervous. I'm so excited to be there.
Do you know when your first performance is?
One is the first performance. I don't know now because I'm gonna go. I will stay 1 month training, and after I start to do the things. I had in provision. I have in preview when I'm gonna be my first performing the show, but not in my act, doing some cues and that things. But my act, I don't know. Well, really know.
Okay.
I need training and yes.
Right. Where do you live when you're in Las Vegas?
I wait for my visa. You know, it depends of that a lot of stuff. But the preview for I'll be there. It's 7 July.
Okay.
Sun, 2 to 3 weeks.
Amazing.
It's close.
Amazing. I have one more question for
Yeah.
you. What advice would you give to your younger self who is just starting when you were 9 years old?
Sorry, can you repeat again? My internet connection is not too good here.
Yeah, of course. What advice would you give you when you were 9 years old starting in the trash deposits? What would you say to that version of yourself?
I'm so proud of you, little Marcos. I'm so proud of you because I ever dream of that, but I never think it was gonna be possible in my life one day, you know. And the things are hard there, man. What's not really easy. A lot of people told me, man, it's not gonna work for your life. Stop it. You're losing time. And a lot of people, man, it's not one, two, man. I almost fighting with everyone close around me to follow my dream, and I did it. You know, I had the luck. I had a so good person around me, incentive me, give me motivation. I am so glad for it. But if I look the little Marcus today, with 9 years old, I'm gonna say to him, "Don't stop, man. You're gonna do it. Don't stop, boy. You're doing well. Just follow your dream, and you're gonna do it. Really, I'm so proud of you, man. Because I am him. I am the little Marcus. I still the same boy. I still the same boy with 9 years old. I still the same boy jumping in the trash. I have another conditions now. I have another goals now, but I'm the same guy. I have a lot of videos doing acrobatics with 12 years old, 9 years old, in the middle of the trash, in the middle of the sands, and I'm here, man. But cause I start in the trash one day, you know. I start in the middle of the trash, in the middle of the glass broken, cutting my feet in the glass. Yes, I start doing it, and I make it work.
That's beautiful. Marcos, this was wonderful. Thank you again for spending some time with me. I
Yeah,
appreciate
thank you.
it. This was great.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk a little part of my story here.
Yeah, of course. Where can people find you?
Oh,
Like, what's your Instagram handle?
okay. My Instagram is the tricks of Vini, or you can that's Marcos Fagundes. You're gonna you're gonna find me there. But my nick is the tricks of Vini. Everything together, and I'm gonna be there.
Great.
If you look for me there, if you search this name there, I'm gonna be there.
Cool. Very cool. All right, awesome. This was wonderful. Thank you again.
Thank you
Have a
so
wonderful
much,
day.
man, for you too, and thanks for the good opportunity to be here, explaining a little bit of my history. And yes, hopeful a lot of people can take this opportunity like I had, and I hopefully can help other people to be here because I had people that helped me, and I cannot get out before speak about some person in my life, and I had four special persons in my life, and I need okay, not counting with my father and my mother because they are the base of my life. Okay, but I
Right.
have four persons, so important person in my life, and I need to speak about them. The
Yeah,
first
please.
is called Rodrigo Garces. Was my first coaching of high level acrobatics. He gave me the opportunity to visit the Circus school in Brazil. The first time was when I had my first contact with the big apparels and that things. And the second person, it's called Alexandre Jaspion, was my first coach in the social project when I started the circus class. This guy opened my mind for my future, and he gave me my first incentives and my first motivations to don't stop it when the people stay and told me it's not gonna work for your life, man. He was there to say it will work for your life, but you need to fight for it, man. That's a big person. Rodrigo Garces, Alexandre Jaspon, three person, Raul Fernandes. This guy worked at the Cirque du Soleil 16 years. In the middle of the pandemic, I knew him, and he sent me a message on Instagram like, "Hey man, how are the things there?" And I thought for him, "Yes, everything is well." And he told me, "Don't lie for me, man. I know we are in the pandemic. You don't have work. You are not training. How's the things there?" And man, my life is so shit now. It's so difficult. I don't have anything. I don't have nothing. But I have motivation. I'm gonna do it. And he started to help me. I'm not gonna enter in details here because what's like delicate themes, but he's helped me. He helped to change my life. Really, it's one of the most big important person in my life. The person number four is called Luan. Luan's a big friend. He's 1 year more older than me. He was the first person to helped me to get my first contract. He did the first season of my first show. I was not there. I was in circus school. When the show comes to the Rio, he's recommend me for the boss of the company, and they contract me. And this guy is my big inspiration in life. Really, he did the circus school, and after he got a contract. When he got the first contract, I was in the circus school. When he did this show of Barnum, I did with him. When he finished the show, he came to the Cirque du Soleil to do the PPP, the same process of the me now. And I went to Mexico. When he finished this process, he was contracted to one show in Cirque du Soleil, the one new show, they call it Echo. When he was to he entered this show, I come to the PPP. And I'm gonna go into one show in the Cirque du Soleil now. And I had a big pleasure to be in the premiere of this guy and the show, and I cry a lot looking him perform because I remember in the middle of his act, I remember how important he was for my career and he is for my life. I remember how big importance he have in my life, and how he helps to change my life. You know, it's a good persons in my life, and I cannot forget them. One more person.
Five.
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
it's five. I did a mistake in the count. It's five. Alexandre Souto was one coach in the Circus school too. He learned me teeterboard, trampoline, a lot of things, and he helped me to thinking because I had a lot of preoccupation about my life, my money in my life. And this guy told me one thing, like I started to understand the life and how works the life. And he told me, man, if you don't have happiness, the money is not important. Don't think about money. Think and do your work well, and the money gonna be a consequence in your life. I cannot forget it in my life, never. Every day when I wake up, I think about it. And yes, Rodrigo Garcês, Alexandre Jaspel, Raul Fernandes, Luan Oliveira and Alexandre Souto. I cannot forget that persons in my life, really. And yes, that's it. I'm so glad for having these people around me and to have this opportunity now, and they help me a lot, really a lot. And I hope food can help another people's like they help me. Because if I deserve to receive it of someone, I really I hope give it for another person. That's it.
That's beautiful.
That's it, man.
Thank you so much, Marcos.
Thank you so much, bro.
Thank
It's
you,
a good
thank you,
opportunity
thank
to talk with you, and let's stay in contact. And if you need something, you can call me. That's okay.
Do you know anyone who you think would make a great guest on this podcast? The good news is there's almost no qualification. They need to be a human and they need to make art. I'm not particularly concerned if they make art for 100,000 people or for no people and they're still doing it in their home. This podcast is all about telling the stories of artists and how their craft has evolved over time, how they perform in their own unique way. So if you have a friend that you love listening to, if you have someone who you think has a really interesting story, I would so love to talk to them. Please don't hesitate to reach out. You can email us at stagedivepodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for watching Stage Dive again. My name is Jack Dawkins. It was a pleasure to have you here. Before I sign off, I do want to thank Kalisa Mickle and Holly Johnson for being the hearts, the guts, the brains behind the operations that make this entire podcast possible. They work so hard to continue to improve it and put it in front of more people and allow it to continue to live on. So thank you to them, thank you to our guest, and thank you to you for watching. I appreciate you.